if I'm looking for a 2-bed and 2-bath or 3-bed, or my budget is $500,000, why you send it to me a brochure that has a studio, 1 bed, a penthouse, and everything? Yes, it's nice, but I want to get the information I'm looking for with one click. What was surprising out of this survey, how many agents are not selling new construction because they see selling new construction as a big time consuming.
What's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, and you know that I have the opportunity to meet some of the greatest real estate professionals in the world, especially in the prop tech arena. A few months ago, me, Sarah Ware, and Rebecca Thompson had the opportunity to come in and speak with the new emerging companies inside of NAR REACH program. And I love to set time aside to interview each of them because it teaches me something new. And of course, you know that I love to share. So this last time I had the opportunity to befriend none other than Christian Kaluza. And Christian is with the company Neo New Estate Only. Now, we just had a conversation, Christian and I, about Neo. Some of you know that I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta. I birthed a 4th generation Kappa. I'm married to a man of Omega Psi Phi. With that being said, every last one of us have had the opportunity to be a Neo, short for neophyte, which means that we are new. Now, once another line comes behind us, we are now considered a prophyte. And there's some people who have been Neos for over 10 years. And so, Christian, how you doing today?
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me here.
And where are you today?
I'm based in Orlando, Florida.
I'm
originally from Italy. Yeah.
Oh, you're from Italy?
Yeah.
Excellent. So I was just in Orlando, just got back last night, went to go work with the local real estate association on their legal day. But what I liked about Neo is the fact that you are working with a lot of pre-construction. Tell us all about your Neo site and how does that benefit real estate professionals?
Yeah, so let me maybe just give a brief introduction.
Yes.
I've been selling U.S. property overseas for more than 25 years. Okay. And when, I was always frustrated by how the new construction world was fragmented and how much time as a realtor I was spending every day pulling data from Dropbox's website, and each project is different, trying to contact builders that most of the time they don't answer. And you normally call them when you have a interested client and you want to have the answer straight away. On top of that, how hard it was for me to put all the information together, branded, and share with the possible client. I mean, I believe that email full of links and attachments are very confusing. On top of that, new construction buyers don't have much imagination, so it's even more important to give them a good customer experience and adept explanation of the project. So that's how Neo came to my mind. I say, come on, but it's impossible that there is no one go-to place that really put all the information together in a pleasant way, giving a deep customer experience, engaging for the client, and that make a realtor able to share any project, anytime, with one click, multi-language, with no boundary, and access to everyone. There are markets like Florida, Texas. I mean, we all know U.S. is a big melting pot. I'm from Italy, and I moved with my family to Orlando, and so on. So, I believe the global part of it and the multi-language is on today very, very important. I mean, we know the analytics and the data from NAR, but from everyone, for a national buyer or bilingual buyer, because then language doesn't mean only for a national, means even local Americans.
So when I initially met you, there was a limited time in which you had the opportunity to present. And I'm glad that you made us pause so that you could give me a little bit more insight into your background. But here's a new idea just came about because we have more time to talk, right? You said you were selling U.S. properties overseas. So every single day, I'm seeing real estate professionals who are global. Some of them have the CIPS, some do not. I do have the CIPS. I just don't focus necessarily, I focus on education in a global environment, especially now that AI has the ability to translate with great accuracy, right? But here's what I was thinking about. I'm consistently seeing real estate professionals take US buyers to other countries. But when they're in those other countries, NEO allows them to do a two-way sale. So when they now go to Africa or they go to South America, they can say, hey guys, we could use NEO because we're giving you insight into some of the pre construction in the US. Is this correct?
Yeah, let's say right now Neo is available Florida and Texas. We are expanding through the nation. We are releasing California within a couple of months, and then we will add a state every month. Okay. So phase number one, Neo, will be a new construction. Association love to call us the MLS of new construction. I prefer to call ourselves the missing part of MLS, as most of new construction is not on the MLS. Okay. That's why we work very well with association and MLS that are our strategic partner. On phase one, NEO obviously will right now allow only US builder to upload the project. Okay. And we are both in Florida and Texas, absolutely the largest and most complete database. And that's what we target to be in every state we expand. Because the idea is a kind of like, just to give you an example of another industry, it's like booking.com. Okay, if I'm looking for a hotel, yes, there is the big brand Hilton, Four Seasons, Hyatt, but there is even the small, tiny motel. So that's the idea. You know, you as a client, you have a platform where you can filter by many criteria, not only bed, bath, and price, home feature, community amenities, distance from a certain point. So I can filter and get in one click what I want, but by having a total overview of what the market of new construction is offering, from the big builder, big community to the small, tiny development.
Yeah. And I just saw income double. Like even with the rollout, right? Being in Florida and Texas, if you're going and you look at global sales, you're actually targeting the top locations for international purchases, right? Because they're looking at Florida. They're also looking even inside of the U.S. They're looking at Texas, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking at these two locations. They're number one and number two because in relocating, I want to live in a state that does not have any state taxes. And the money that I would save in my state taxes allows me to offset the cost to live there. Just throwing that out there. But let me come back. So now all of my friends that are going to these other places, they should leverage your platform to not think about who's leaving the US, but think about the investors and the people who are coming into the US. And that's an aggressive plan to roll out one state every month. So you're going to be in rollout mode for the next 48 months.
Yeah, I mean, new constructions, it's focused on the mainly, there is 20 top states, but yes, that's the plan,
That's the plan. 20 top states. And so this came out of a need, or it was out of your frustration?
Was my frustration. And then talking to the fact is, my frustration when I was sharing this with other realtors, I understood that was most of people frustration. And then when I talked to builders, and I realized their frustration too, because they are frustrated too, first of all, for brand awareness, brand integrity, they don't have control over the information that agents are sharing, especially overseas agent, you know? And a project can be 2 years, 3 years. At the same time, I say, hey guys, if I enter a Dropbox where I have 10 folders and 200 files, how do I know what is the last update? There is no way, you know? And then on top of that, how can I put all this information together and share easily with my client? Yeah, you give this unbranded, but you care about your brand integrity as I care about my brand integrity. I don't want to copy and paste my logos that maybe is the same color of the background. And I don't want to sell email to my clients full of links and attachment, and my clients, we all change the way we search online. We don't want to if I'm looking for a 2 bed and 2 bath or 3 bed, or my budget is $500,000, why you send it to me a brochure that has a studio, 1 bed, a penthouse, and everything? Yes, it's nice, but I want to get the information I'm looking for with one click. That's what we are getting used and more use every day. And if it's possible to have it in a pleasant way that engage me, educate me, and give me a better understanding, and maybe in my mother tongue, even better, that's what I want. Like other industry, it's just I don't want to change, but we did a big survey on the automotive. People spend an incredible amount of time on trying to customize their car online. They love that. Now, every dealer has. The end, what's happened? They go to the dealer said, look, there is this car, is ready, totally different. Maybe it's cheaper, or maybe I give you an incentive, and they buy that. But this is to show how the people, they want, obviously, the search start online, and they want to have a more interactive experience. Right now, an average buyer on Neo spend about 3 minutes, 40 seconds per project, versus what is a normal listing, let's say on MLS style, that is likely less than 1 minute. Obviously there is a difference. The MLS listing is on a single property. What we are trying to do as Neo, to give a full information on the neighborhood, to the mass plan, going to the single floor plan. So me as a buyer, I have a full understanding of the full community or project, and I have a full understanding of the neighborhood, schools, supermarket, highway, whatever.
So yesterday, when I was in Florida, I flew into Orlando and I drove up right around the villages. And then I think I had driven too far. So I was supposed to be, I think, in Claremont. And when I was in Claremont with the rolling hills, right, I drove past multiple master plans, right, where they're putting in new roads. Okay. And what I'm hearing you say, the one that I drove by, if I remember the address and I could go pinpoint it because I knew exactly the sushi restaurant I left, I saw it, I liked it. They were putting the new roads in. That because it's in the state of Florida, that I could come over to the NEO website. I could see about the new roads that they're going to put in the master plan. And if they had 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms or a guest house or whatever that is, you're telling me that all of that information I can come and source at NEO?
Yes. And the fact, as a realtor, the different fact is this. There are other platforms. I believe leads are the value today. Okay. We all chase leads. We all pay for leads. So the idea came to my mind is, and what association like Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Texas Realtor are offering me as a member benefit is a tool that allowed an agent to embed the full listing on their own website. Okay. So me as an agent, I can embed the full listing of a certain area, Central Florida, all Florida. I can even make it Houston, Dallas, Miami. Okay. So I can create it my own, fully embed on my own website. With one click, I can even change the color. So it really becomes 100% part of my website. It's updated 24/7, no delay. This is very important. Builder loves it. Some people don't know that certain platform has a delay up to 4 days. Okay. And this in certain market, when we have a buyer market, could be a big difference, 4 days. Neo has no delay. So me as a builder, I change a price, and I know that all the thousands of agents that install Neo on their own website are updated instantaneously with no delay. So me as an agent, I have everything on my own website. The only contacts, everything, it's my own contacts. We have many actions that buyer can do, like asking download availability and so on. But all that leads go only to the agent. We as Neo, we don't collect leads. We are not involved in sales. We are not involved in commission, and we don't sell leads. So it protects the realtor and give a realtor a tool in his own website. And from there, they can share any community by email, social network, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is quite important. If someone, deal with Latin America, for example, WhatsApp is the way to communicate. They can share easily any project by one click.
Now, I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to let my adult age son know that I'm still recording and he shouldn't come in my office. But I'm also thinking, now let me tell you what I just thought about. I'm thinking of Baird and Warner. Baird and Warner has a strong Chicago presence, but they also have a strong Florida presence. There are a lot of people who they're servicing in the Chicago area who are coming to Florida every single February. This now acts as an additional sales tool for all of those franchise owners who have a Chicago franchise and another location, generally in Sarasota or Tampa, Florida, because they coming out of Chicago and they love the west coast of Florida. But let me also say what I was thinking about. There's a company called Chicago Title Trust. I got to call them back today. A lot of people have real estate trust in the state of Illinois through them because every state does not allow you to put properties in the trust. Well, they just expanded into Florida and into Illinois. So they changed the name of the title company from the Chicago Title and Trust to the Land Trust Company. Now I'm seeing the opportunity for there to even be the ability to work with title companies that are doing business in two locations because they understand how many people in the state of Illinois also have a second home in the state of Florida. And I'm just getting all these different ideas because you're helping them. Like I know that I want my next place to be new construction, right? Period. And I have some time before I have to find this ideal place. And so for the fact that I don't necessarily want to travel there consistently, then your website would be that website that I would use in that search. But it's also the place that I would want to send all my friends to who are asking questions because they anticipate that I'm going to do the research to tell them about, hey, if you go here, there are no state income taxes. If you're paying $12,000 a year in state income taxes, that can reduce your housing cost by $1,000 a month. This would be the true cost of having this second place, right? Okay.
And I tell you, if you look, for example, as Illinois, you're a Chicago realtor, and it's even more hard to access the information, for example, of a builder in Florida. You should drive a lot and spend hours on. With Neo, you can say, do you know what? Now I put everything on my own website. Maybe you can create Florida New Construction tab or whatever. And from there, you can share with any client. Uh, and you are a US realtor. It's even harder if you are an overseas agent. That's why we have agreement with more than 30 real estate associations overseas that are offering NEO as a member benefit to all the agents that actively or are interested on promoting US property. And an association love this because it's creating more networking, more referral between out of state and overseas. Because Colombia, that was the first adopter, Fedalonga, the Colombian Association. We have thousands of agents in Colombia using NEO. That means thousands of agents that every day are interfacing or maybe bringing business to a local Florida realtor. So, overseas, try to access your MLS. I don't know, but at least me on Florida, if I access my MLS while I'm in Italy, I cannot access. I have to go through a VPN. Okay. It's crazy what we realize that some of the top 20 builders in the US still have in 2025 geographical limitation to access their own website. That means that if you are sending me a link of a property and I'm on vacation, I don't know, in Brazil or wherever, I cannot access the link, and in my opinion, especially in the US, but everywhere in the world, these things cannot happen anymore. And that's what Neo stuff. We like to say global reach with a local impact. That's how we,
I didn't even think about the VPN. And you know how many people don't know how to use a VPN? Right? Actually, using a VPN was a solution for a lot of people with the TikTok situation, because, right? They went in via their VPN. Now, because of all of first question I have before I ask that question, how much time have you done any studies to indicate how much time a real estate professional who wants to operate uh, globally or sell U.S. properties abroad would be able to save by using NEO?
we didn't account the time. Okay. What we did is we ran a survey of how many agents and even how many builders they would like to expand global, but they think they see a lot of problems or challenges that realistically are not there, or they don't have time for many reasons. And the percentage was quite shocking. Okay. Most of the realtor, I believe, was around 64% of the realtor we interviewed that were not doing global. They would love to do global, but they don't know where to start from. Okay. Because at the end, I believe there is the new construction overseas buyer. We're talking about a $59 billion industry. So it's a quite big. And builders, most of builders, they don't have an international operation. But what was surprising out of this survey, how many agents are not selling new construction because they see selling new construction as a big time consuming industry, mainly for the research. Driving around on project. You've been in Orlando. I mean, going from Claremont to Kissimmee South can take an hour and a half by car. Okay. And then it's quite frustrating because sometimes the model home is closed, it's not open yet, and you never talk to a decision maker, and then they send you Dropbox, and then, and again and again and again. So they say, you know what, I don't have time for new construction. I would love to sell new construction, especially in this moment where maybe they can even get a better incentive looking on today's market. But the fact is, they don't have the power, the human resources to look after all that. And with Neo, that's solved. And I tell you something, this is very fun. It happened to me last week. Okay. A brand new agent, new agent, no experience. Okay. He joined a very large brokerage in southeast of Florida. What he was doing, he decided to be a Uber driver. Okay. Very good. Part-time, he was doing that. It's happened to him that there was a client on board and they start to talk. Okay. And what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for new construction. Said, you know what? I'm a realtor too. Why don't you scan this QR code? So what we give to the agent is two tools. It's not one or the other. They have both. Either they can embed the full listing on their own website or they can create a totally customized landing page. Okay. Multilingual. They can put picture, company logo, social network, WhatsApp, bio. They can customize the color. So what did this agent create, this realtor? Create a QR code of that, okay? And he gave to the people, to the client scanned it. For sure he was a good salespeople, he passed trust. It's happened that he closed a $10.2 million sales on a new condominium, okay, in Bell Harbor area, and he got $500,000 commission. So this is an example, and this has happened last week, okay? And you will see, we'll do some media around it. This is to prove how, by being an Uber driver, by having Neo, you were able, for sure he was a great salespeople. He made the client trust him and everything, but he was able to say, hey, why don't you look at the property at this?
That thing what just came to mind. I got two things. Connie, and I was with Connie yesterday. She is going to be the incoming president of the association I was visiting. They have a lot of new construction out where she is, and we were talking with her real estate agent about setting up a landing page. Connie, this is the landing page for your agent. Just do it so I can make sure I send that to Connie.
It takes one click.
That's one thing. But now, what I just thought about is every real estate professional who also does Uber Black. I'm just going to make an assumption that this person had a black car. I'm just going to make an assumption at the price point, right? So now you get, especially Florida, right? And Texas, you're doing your Uber. You might intentionally put your black car out there just for this purpose based on the vast amount of new construction. But I'm thinking about riches and niches. This is a niche. You have the access, and because of the Department of Justice, you're getting assigned buyer representation agreement to ensure that you're going to be compensated before you negotiate this contract on behalf of your buyer. This could now, and I'm pretty sure this agent has thought about it, this can be their total niche. Like, this could be their lead generation. especially on airport runs, right, from either Fort Lauderdale or the Miami airport, or Orlando, or West Palm Beach, or
I tell
Sarasota.
you, I was with the executive of this brokerage. They shared this with me and said, "This is what I love to hear. This is what one of my dreams when I create Neo." And this is to prove how this would be impossible for an agent without Neo. Okay?
Right.
Because then you should ask the client, about how many bedrooms? I will share a Dropbox. Forget about the client will go inside the property or will go to the showroom or whatever, or will go to another broker. So our target, and I don't want to, talk too much about it, but our target is, we have already, I believe, other 22 new features that will be released that will make the work of the realtor easier and easier. If you're a login agent, like we have agreement with most of the MLS we're working, single sign-on, they're in. They will have access to phone number, direct contact of all the builders. That's another big problem, maybe not in your area, but in Florida and Texas too. Everyone is complaining. We call the builder. We don't know which number to call for that community. You go to a customer service that maybe is based in India. Nothing for that, but they don't know, the local, and so on. Agent would be able to create a totally branded brochure. We are adding other 6 language in the next weeks. Right now, Neo is English, Spanish, and Portuguese. We are ending Mandarin, Hindi. We are ending Vietnamese, French, because the Canadian broker asked for that, German, and so on. And there will be more future with AI. We are finding a way to do a virtual tour of the home. So to qualify more, so you are in Chicago, instead of you coming to Orlando, spend 5 days looking at community, we will give you, and the agent will be able to give, the realtor will be able to give you that through his own website, okay? A customer experience where you can experience the home, okay? Having an assistant, virtual assistant that will answer to any question in any language. So you will be able to say, okay, this is the community I want. So when you will travel to Orlando or wherever you want to buy, you will be much more educated. You will see the things. You know already what you want. Because all of us now, we prefer to do the search, let's be clear, by ourselves. We don't want to be in front of a sales pitch every day. If we can talk to a chat, we prefer the chat. If we have a virtual assistant, even if we don't like that, and then at the end, real estate will still a human fix. So then the realtor will be always at the center of all, okay? But educating the client, the buyer before, I believe, will save a lot of time to them and it will help
Wow.
the industry. That's our idea.
You know what? I'm sad that the first time we only had a couple of minutes, but I'm elated that we had the opportunity to reconnect, right? Because there are some people who I definitely thought that you should meet inside of my association with things that they're doing. Because, man, now I'm thinking on every trade mission, right? We could leverage this too, because a lot of the local associations, they do trade missions to other countries. And now there's something that they could show them. Hey, these are places that you could buy. And keep in mind, real estate professionals, licensed real estate professionals, you can always do a referral. So now I don't have to come down to Florida. I can facilitate a referral if I desire. And now you have a lot of new inventory, not just one unit, but hundreds of units. And in some of these community, thousands of units that are available. Christian, if a person wants to reach out to you, a local MLS, an association executive, or a real estate professional wants to leverage Neo in their business, how do they connect with you?
Uh, my email address is a CC. That's Christian Carlos at newestateonly.com. Okay. Or, my phone number. I'm always available and I love to share. For me, it's, I always say Neo was built by a realtor for realtors. So I love to listen to people, listen their feedback, listen what they're struggling on selling this, and try to implement it. And technology is there, is supporting us. I mean, 2 years ago, strategically, we bought a company that developed their own AI. So our new platform will have a big part of AI, and that will help us to really trying to bring more tools, make the life of realtor more efficient, more time saving, and close more deal, and more on a global. As you say, when I see all these associations, and we are dealing with them quite successfully. They do all the global mission. What is the target of the global mission? The target of global mission mainly is to networking, referral, and bring their destinations. Hey guys, you should invest in whatever, Miami, Houston, whatever it is. Then the next day you are leaving, you're going back to your country, okay, in the US. And those people have problem to access the information, to share the information. If they want to market, they get very excited in the Congress, in the exhibition, but then when they go back the next day to the office, they say, where should I start from? Everything is in English, okay? So the idea that you go to a Colombia exhibition as an association or as a member, you can say, hey guys, I'm not only telling you the opportunity here of business, okay, but now I'm giving you a tool in your language that you can embed on your own website. So you will be able to promote it easily through different channels, invest on marketing, on social network, and so on. And then our cooperation will be much easier, more referral, more networking. So if you look on a global, I believe it's a tool that, and already some associations are doing very well on every global mission, bringing Neo to promote the destination and give that local agent the tool.
I love it. I love it. So you can go over to New Estate Only. Is that newestateonly.com, Christian?
Yes, US.
New Estate Only. And then Christian, you can email him CC like carbon copy, right? At newestateonly.com. I would love to hear how you're going to implement this into your real estate business, as this will be able to expand your territory. And for some agents, it will also allow you to own a new niche, one that is bilingual, but more importantly, one that can touch every single country in the world. Thank you guys for tuning in. And Christian, thank you for being a wonderful guest.
Thank you for your time, Marky. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.